I think it's safe to say that all of us here in the United States watched in horror as Donald Trump's meeting with Vladimir Putin in Alaska earlier today collapsed in front of all of us. It was humiliating, embarrassing to watch the president of the United States get steamrolled by the president of Russia in such dramatic fashion. And it really came to a head when they had their press conference and Donald Trump just rolled over. He praised Putin. He shouted out Russian businessmen. He flirted with the idea of going to Moscow for their next meeting. It was a total disaster, and Republicans and Democrats are acknowledging this. So I want to show you the reactions of, right now, we'll start with Fox News, but other people across the board in response to this meeting. And let's just say Donald Trump is not getting the reviews he had hoped. Let's start with Fox News, which at any given time is essentially an arm of the Trump campaign, the Trump administration, whatever they happen to be doing. And in this instance, they weren't so kind to Donald Trump. And that's how you know things went really badly for him. Even the White House correspondent for Fox News, the senior White House correspondent, Jackie Heinrich from Fox News, said that Putin came in and steamrolled Donald Trump. So let's take a look at this clip. We'll talk about it after, and you can let me know in the comments as well what you think, and make sure to subscribe to the channel as well. Drop a like on the video, and let's dive in.
It was just very unusual, atypical, and I think we're all awaiting, the readout, because the way that it felt in the room was not good. It did not seem like things went well, and it seemed like Putin came in and steamrolled, got right into what he wanted to say, and got his photo next to the president and then left.
Yeah, wow. I mean, again, a Fox News reporter from this very conservative outlet, which on a daily basis just spreads the MAGA talking points to their audience of millions. They're saying that Donald Trump got steamrolled. Putin came in and got what he wanted: a photo with the president of the United States, a red carpet walk with the president of the United States, a handshake, a meeting where he got to air out all of his grievances, and then he left. He went back to Russia on his plane and nothing was achieved. No peace deal, no ceasefire, no nothing, no anything was secured by Donald Trump in this meeting. And it just seems like Putin got whatever he wanted from Donald Trump. Whatever he asked, he got. And instead of being punished by Trump, by the Trump administration, by the United States for his years-long campaign of invading Ukraine and killing innocent people, he had the red carpet rolled out for him. When President Biden was in office, he held Putin to the fire. He held him accountable. He put sanctions. He hurt Putin directly where it mattered. Donald Trump, on the other hand, said, well, I'm not all about that. Let's have a fun play date. Let's shake some hands for the camera, and you can walk the red carpet here on American soil. And Fox News didn't stop there. Their criticism continued of Donald Trump, with Heinrich also reporting that some very unusual things happened in this meeting, such as Putin speaking first on American soil. Typically, the host country speaks first, but Putin decided to take initiative and spoke before Donald Trump. Take a look.
I think you and me both, Brian, and everyone else in this room was also surprised. We were told that we were going to have an opportunity to put questions to both leaders after a joint press conference in the event that the meeting went well enough that they could set the stage for a second meeting. And the President Trump said if that didn't happen, he was likely to call off the joint presser and just address the media solo and then send Putin home. Neither of those things happened. And what was really stunning to me, as someone who's been in a lot of these press conferences, is there were a few things that were very unusual. You had Putin come out and address the press first. I mean, we are on U.S. soil here, and that left the media scrambling to get their headsets in. Usually it is the leader of the country, the host country of a summit, that speaks first and addresses the room in their language. But Putin started right off in Russian, and we all had to get our headsets on and listen to him rattle off this diatribe about the history of the U.S.-Russia relationship, making some allusions to something that we didn't get many details on, but also, without knowing the full background of it, there was something that he said that was a little bit alarming, I thought, that seems like some of the things that he has done in the past, setting up false flags and that kind of thing, saying that we hope that Ukraine doesn't do anything to sabotage the progress that we made today, knowing full well that Ukraine has agreed to a ceasefire unconditionally for the last several months, and it has been Russia that has not agreed to a ceasefire. That was President Trump's main objective today. And when we did hear from the president, he said, we didn't get there, but we think that we can. So a lot of questions remaining for the president, Trump, not just about what was discussed in that room and what might be happening now, but also how that all happened back there.
Yeah. To her credit, even though she's a Fox News reporter, Jackie Heinrich is normally pretty objective here. And even she's saying, yeah, this meeting was a disaster on a very conservative news network. And she laid out those two options, which is either one, Donald Trump, if the meeting went well, would have had this joint press conference with Putin where they both would have answered questions from the press. And if it didn't go well, Donald Trump would have addressed the media solo and then sent Putin on his way. None of those things happened. None of those things happened. So number one, the meeting didn't go well. Obviously, no matter what Donald Trump says or what conservative figure in the media says, obviously, objectively, the media didn't go to plan. And also, Donald Trump is not tough enough to send Putin home alone. He won't do it. He has to continue to suck up to Putin, and that's exactly what we saw today. He cannot bring himself to criticize Putin. But I want to get into some other reactions from people across the board to what happened in this meeting. And I want to start with someone who's been very much in the news recently, Governor Gavin Newsome, who responded to the press conference almost immediately after it happened, and his response is fantastic. Let's dive in and react. Quote, Trump just fled the podium with Putin. No questions, nothing. Total low energy. The man looked like he'd just eaten 3 buckets of KFC with Vlad. Is he afraid the press will ask about me, America's favorite governor, and the fact I stole the cameras this week with the, quote, maps? Many people are saying he begged Putin to hold hands, tiny, on the way out. Admit it, Donnie J. You're terrified because this was the worst week of your life because of me, Gavin C. Newsome. The maps will end your presidency, retake Congress for the people, and expose your rigged little game. My perfect maps are more beautiful than anything in Trump Tower, which many say smells weird. At Stephen Chung, one of Trump's senior advisors, explain this disaster. Enjoy your flight home, Donald. You're Putin's problem now. I'm America's solution, which I've said in previous videos. I think this is a hint at 2028 that Gavin Newsom believes he's America's solution, and he very well might be. In response to this MAGA madness we've seen since Trump got into office for the second time, a really funny and a really entertaining response from Gavin Newsom. And I imagine if history is correct and history repeats itself, which it often does, that Donald Trump will rage on Truth Social later in response to this amazing statement from Governor Gavin Newsom and his press office. Another one I wanted to show you is from the Democrats, the Democratic Party, saying Trump invited a dictator on U.S. soil just to get his shit rocked, which is what happened. Donald Trump invited Putin, rolled out the red carpet, had this big ceremony for him just to get embarrassed in front of the American people. Humiliating. Here's another one from Aaron Parnas, a friend of mine. Donald Trump gave Vladimir Putin everything he wanted. He invited him to the United States without fear of arrest, allowed him in the beast, and normalized his relationship with Putin. Meanwhile, no ceasefire deal. This is an abject failure for the Trump administration. Couldn't agree more. And the final one I want to show you from Representative Eric Swalwell from California, quote, Trump toasted Putin like he was giving him the Lifetime Achievement Award. What a Kremlin kiss ass our president is. So you can see elected representatives, content creators, the Democratic Party, and more are furious with what Donald Trump did today and his meeting with Putin. It completely backfired. And it's safe to say, I think we can all agree, that Trump humiliated himself today for the entire world to see. So anyway, I will leave the video there. Thank you so much for watching. It really means the world. Make sure to subscribe to the channel down below. It goes an incredibly long way. Drop a like on the video, comment, let me know what you think about this story. And as I always say, I greatly appreciate you, and I hope you have an amazing rest of your day.